What if I told you that some of the most powerful empires in human history aren't even mentioned in your textbooks? These forgotten giants once commanded vast armies, ruled millions, and reshaped entire continents. Yet their names rarely cross our lips. Forget everything you think you know about ancient history, because we're about to uncover the true powerhouses you've never heard of. Empires so dominant, they could make Rome look like a minor player. So grab your metaphorical shovel. We're digging deep into time itself to resurrect the untold stories of 10 forgotten empires that once ruled the world. Let's count them down, from number 10 to number 1. Number 10, the Mitanni Empire, circa 1500 to 1300 BCE. Long before Assyria and Babylon dominated Mesopotamia, the Mitanni Empire rose to power in what is now northern Syria and Iraq. Known as masters of chariot warfare, the Mitanni kings controlled trade routes connecting Egypt, Anatolia, and the Near East. They were so influential that Egyptian pharaohs married Mitanni princesses to secure alliances. But internal conflicts and the rise of the Assyrians eventually brought them down. Forgotten by most history books, the Mitanni remind us that even great powers can vanish into dust, leaving only fragments of cuneiform to whisper their story. Number 9, the Kingdom of Aksum, 1st to 10th century CE. Once hailed by Roman writers as one of the four great powers of the ancient world, Aksum ruled the highlands of modern-day Ethiopia and Eritrea. This empire commanded the Red Sea trade routes, linking Rome, India, and Africa. Aksum minted its own coins, built massive stone obelisks, and adopted Christianity centuries before most of Europe. Yet today, its name is barely known outside Africa. Why forgotten? Because Aksum's legacy was buried under centuries of shifting sands and rising Islamic states that cut it off from global trade. Still, the ruins of Aksum stand as silent proof of Africa's forgotten might. Number 8, the Western Shia Empire, 1038 to 1227 CE. Founded by the Tangut people in northwestern China, the Western Shia built a wealthy kingdom along the Silk Road. They developed their own written language, advanced architecture, and powerful fortresses. But their story ends abruptly, obliterated by Genghis Khan during the Mongol conquests. So thorough was their destruction that their very existence was almost lost to history until rediscovered by archaeologists centuries later. The Western Shia remind us that cultural brilliance can vanish in a single storm of conquest. 7. The Sogdian traders, 6th to 10th centuries CE. Not a single empire, but a network of city-states across Central Asia, from Samarkand to Bukhara. The Sogdians were the lifeblood of the Silk Road, trading silk, spices, and ideas between China, India, Persia, and Byzantium. They spread religions, languages, and art, acting as cultural ambassadors across continents. But because they conquered no lands and built no massive monuments, they were long dismissed as mere merchants. In truth, their influence on global culture rivals that of any empire, a reminder that power isn't always measured in armies. Number 6 is the Elamite Empire, 2700 to 539 BCE. Before the rise of Persia, there was Elam, one of the oldest civilizations in what is now Iran. They built monumental ziggurats, invented writing systems, and fought both Sumerians and Babylonians for dominance. For over 2,000 years, Elam stood as a powerful kingdom, influencing art and architecture across the region. But when Cyrus the Great founded the Persian Empire, Elam was absorbed and its legacy faded. Elam's story is the tale of a civilization that paved the way for empires yet to come, only to be overshadowed by them. Number 5, the land of Punt, circa 2500 to 1000 BCE. Known to the ancient Egyptians as the land of the gods, Punt was a wealthy African kingdom, likely located around modern Eritrea or Somalia. It was the source of Egypt's most prized goods: gold, ivory, exotic animals, and the sacred frankincense. Egyptian reliefs show great expeditions sailing across the Red Sea to trade with Punt's rulers. But the kingdom left no written records of its own, and its exact location remains a mystery. A real-world Atlantis of the Nile, the land of Punt proves that even the most important trade partner of Egypt can simply vanish into legend. Number 4, the Kingdom of Kush, 1070 BCE to 350 CE. South of Egypt, in modern-day Sudan, thrived the Kingdom of Kush, a land of gold, iron, and majestic pyramids. At its height, Kushite kings conquered Egypt itself, ruling as the 25th dynasty of pharaohs. Their capital, Meroe, became a center of metallurgy and art. Yet history often labels them as mere southern Egyptians, erasing their true identity. Forgotten because of geography and bias, Kush stands today as Africa's royal legacy, proof that Nile civilization didn't end at Egypt's border. Number 3, The Hittite Empire circa 1600 to 1178 BCE. The Hittites ruled the mountains of Anatolia, modern-day Turkey, and rivaled both Egypt and Babylon. They mastered ironworking, built formidable chariots, and signed the world's first known peace treaty with Egypt after the Battle of Kadesh. When the mysterious Bronze Age collapse hit, the Hittite capital Hattusa fell, and centuries of history were buried beneath the soil. Rediscovered only in the 20th century, the Hittites remind us that even advanced bureaucratic empires can disappear overnight. Number 2, the Neo-Assyrian Empire, 911 to 609 BCE. The Assyrians were the first true superpower of the ancient world, their empire stretching from Egypt to Persia. They revolutionized warfare with organized armies, iron weapons, and siege engines. Their kings, like Ashurbanipal and Tiglath-Pileser III, built vast cities such as Nineveh and created the world's first major library system. But brutal rebellions and internal decay ended their dominance, and their name became synonymous with cruelty rather than culture. The Neo-Assyrians shaped every empire that followed, from Persia to Rome, yet their glory remains largely forgotten outside archaeological circles. Number 1, the Achaemenid Persian Empire, 550 to 330 BCE. Under Cyrus the Great, the Persians forged the largest empire the world had ever seen, spanning over 5 million square kilometers. From Egypt to India, it united dozens of nations under a system of tolerance, efficient governance, and infrastructure. They built the royal road, invented postal services, and established administrative provinces long before modern bureaucracies. Yet in the West, Persia is too often remembered only as Greece's enemy. The Achaemenid Empire deserves recognition as the first truly global civilization, a model of cultural inclusion and imperial organization that shaped history for millennia. And there you have it, 10 forgotten empires that once ruled the world, now reduced to whispers in stone and dust. Each of them rose to power, forged innovation, and then, like all empires, faded away. History is not a straight line of progress, but a cycle of rise and ruin, memory and oblivion. If this journey opened your eyes to the hidden side of history, like, subscribe, and tell us in the comments which forgotten empire amazed you the most. Until next time, stay curious, stay brave, and remember, the past is never truly gone. It's just waiting to be rediscovered.